Last night, did your dog stare at you for a long time? Not the kind of look that means I want food or take me outside, but a quiet look so deep that it almost felt strange. And the scary part is, most dog owners never truly understand what that moment actually means. Because when a dog begins to imprint on you, everything changes. The way they sleep beside you, the way they follow you from room to room, the way they watch you when you're sad, even the way they check every few minutes to make sure you're still there. At that point, this is no longer ordinary affection. According to science, this is when a dog's brain starts seeing you as the safest place in the world, the most important person in their life, and sometimes their entire world. In this video, you'll discover the 7 clearest signs that your dog has formed an incredibly deep bond with you. And the final sign might completely change the way you look at your dog after tonight. The very first sign, and also the strongest one, is the way your dog sleeps next to you. Not just somewhere in the same room, not in a random corner of the house for comfort, but always trying to touch you somehow, maybe pressing their back against you, resting a paw on your body, crawling under the blanket in the middle of the night, or simply needing to stay close enough to feel that you're still there. Most people think that's just a cute habit, but for dogs, sleep is the most vulnerable moment of all. In the wild, when a dog falls asleep, its ability to react drops dramatically. It can't run as fast, can't defend itself properly, can't stay fully alert. That's why dogs only sleep deeply beside those they instinctively trust. And there's something even more powerful behind it: your scent. A dog's brain remembers your smell like a safety signal. The moment they smell it, their heart rate slows down, stress levels decrease, their body begins to relax. That's why many dogs sleep better when they're close to their owner. Because to them, you're not just the person who feeds them. You're the place that makes their world feel safe. The second sign is even more incredible. Because over time, dogs start becoming like you. Not in appearance, but in emotions, energy, daily habits. If you're often stressed, you may notice your dog becoming more easily startled, more anxious, less able to relax. But if you're calm, gentle, and emotionally steady, your dog slowly becomes more stable in that same way too. And the truly fascinating part is this: studies show that dogs observe humans almost constantly. They pay attention to your voice, the way you walk, the way you breathe, even the emotional energy you bring into a room. And over time, their brain starts adjusting itself to match you. That's why many dogs somehow know exactly when you're about to come home. Why they sense when you're sad before you say a single word. Or why they slowly develop habits that look exactly like yours. You stay up late, they stay awake too. You wake up early, they begin waiting before your alarm even goes off. As time passes, your dog is no longer just living beside you. They begin building their entire emotional world around you. And that's the moment this bond becomes something far deeper than the idea of just a pet. The third sign often makes people laugh, but it's actually incredibly deep. It's when your dog truly listens, only to you. You say, "Come here," and they run over immediately. You say, "Sit," and they do it without hesitation. But when someone else calls them, they look, tilt their head, then walk away like they heard absolutely nothing. Most people think that means the dog is stubborn. No, what's really happening is far more powerful. Dogs are incredibly skilled at reading social structure. They constantly observe to figure out who the leader is, who makes them feel safest, and who they trust the most. Over time, your dog begins memorizing your voice specifically. Not just the words, but your tone, your rhythm, your energy, even the subtle way your voice changes when you're serious. They understand you in a way outsiders never can. That's why sometimes you can speak very softly and your dog still reacts instantly. Because to them, it's no longer just a command. It's the most important voice in their world. And the deepest form of loyalty isn't shown by how many tricks a dog can do. It's shown by the fact that in the end, they always choose to listen to one person above everyone else. The fourth sign might sound funny, but it's actually one of the most emotional things dogs do. It's when your dog loves lying on your clothes, your jacket, your blanket, your pillow, sometimes even a pile of clothes you just took off. And the more they miss you, the more they seek out the things that smell most like you. A lot of people think dogs do this because they're gross or weird, but the truth is the complete opposite. To dogs, scent is never just a smell. It's comfort. It's your presence, even when you're gone. When you leave the house, many dogs experience a subtle level of anxiety humans never notice. And the thing that calms them down the fastest is your scent. That's why dogs often curl up on their owner's clothes and fall into a deep sleep. It's almost like their brain is saying, "This person is still here. Everything is okay." But there's something even deeper happening too. When your dog lies on your clothes, they also leave their own scent behind. Not to claim your stuff, but to blend their scent with yours. And in the world of dogs, that's a quiet way of saying, we belong to each other. The fifth sign is the one that gives many people chills once they finally notice it, because your dog often knows you're hurting before anyone else does. There are days when you walk into the house looking completely normal. You don't cry, you don't say anything, you don't tell anyone what happened. But your dog immediately comes closer. They sit beside you, rest their head on your leg, or quietly lie next to you as if they know something is wrong. And the incredible part is, they actually do know. A dog's sense of smell is far more powerful than ours. When you're stressed, sad, or anxious, your body changes in tiny ways. Your scent, your breathing, your facial expressions, even the way you move. Humans barely notice those signals, but dogs do, especially a dog that has deeply imprinted on you, because they've spent so long studying the normal version of you. They know when you're okay, and they immediately notice when something changes. And the most beautiful part is this: dogs don't try to fix your emotions. They don't say, "Don't be sad." They just stay. And sometimes that silent presence heals people more than words ever could. The sixth sign happens almost every single day. Yet most dog owners never truly notice it. It's when your dog constantly looks back at you during walks. They run a few feet ahead, sniff everything around them, seem completely busy exploring the world, but then they turn around to check if you're still there. A few moments later, they look again. This behavior is called checking in. And in the world of dogs, it's a powerful sign of deep emotional attachment. In the wild, dogs constantly look toward the member they trust most to confirm, "Are we still safe? Is everything okay? You're still with me, right?" And here's the beautiful part. Dogs don't need a leash to feel secure. They need the feeling that you're still present. That's why many dogs, even when they're having the time of their life, keep checking back on their owner again and again, not because they're afraid, but because their brain has made you their center point, the place they return to, the signal that everything is safe. And the deeper the imprint becomes, the more often they check on you. Because in your dog's mind, the most important thing isn't where they're going. It's whether you're still going with them. And now, the final sign, the strongest one, and the one that moves people the most once they truly understand it. It's when your dog looks directly into your eyes for a long time. No tension, no fear, no looking away, just quietly staring at you. At first, that may seem completely normal, but in the world of dogs, prolonged eye contact is usually a sign of threat or confrontation. Between unfamiliar dogs, staring often leads to conflict. So when your dog calmly holds eye contact with you for a long time, they're doing something incredibly special. They're choosing to lower their guard completely. And what's even more amazing is that science has confirmed this. When dogs and humans look into each other's eyes long enough, both brains release oxytocin. This is the same chemical responsible for the bond between a mother and her baby. In other words, that moment isn't just emotional. It's a real biological connection. That's why sometimes it's so hard to explain the way your dog looks at you. It feels like they're trying to say something without using words. And maybe after hearing all of this, you'll realize something important. Your dog was never seeing you as just an owner. To them, you've been family for a very long time. And there's one final thing that many people only realize when it's already too late. A dog's imprinting doesn't happen automatically. It's built little by little, through time, through presence, and through the smallest moments repeated every day. Not through expensive toys, not through the best food, but through the simple act of truly being there. When your dog comes close, you respond. When they want to play, you give them a few minutes. When they feel anxious, you don't leave them alone in it. Dogs don't measure love the way humans do. They measure it through consistency, safety, and the feeling that this person will always come back to me. That's why a dog can wait by the door for hours, sleep beside your bedroom door, or run toward you the second they hear your familiar footsteps. Because to them, you're not just part of their life. You are their life. And one day when the house feels quieter, when there are no longer footsteps running to greet you at the door, you'll finally understand something. The most precious thing was never how deeply your dog loved you. It was the fact that for a part of your life, you were loved that deeply and unconditionally by another living soul. So tonight, try doing one very simple thing. When your dog comes close to you, don't immediately grab your phone. Don't just pet them out of habit. Don't rush back into the noise of everything else. Just truly look at them for a few seconds. You'll begin noticing things you never paid attention to before. The way they always choose to lie near you, the way they watch you when you leave the room, or how their eyes instantly change the moment they hear your voice. And then you'll understand something important. To dogs, love was never complicated. They don't need you to be perfect. They don't need you to be rich. They don't need you to be happy all the time. They just need your presence, your real presence, because for a dog that has deeply imprinted on you, every small moment matters. A gentle pat on the head, a returned glance, one more time you came back home. Little by little, those moments become their entire world. And if you've watched until this point, comment 1 so I know there are still people out there who truly love dogs with all their heart. And if you want to understand your dog on a deeper level, make sure to follow for more. And maybe, after learning all of this, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Not just as an animal that lives in your house, not just a pet that runs to greet you every day, but as a living soul that has quietly given almost its entire heart to you. And the beautiful thing is, dogs don't love the way humans do. They don't care whether you succeed or fail. They don't care what you look like today, and they don't keep track of how many mistakes you've made. If you come home, they're still happy like their entire world just lit up again. If you're hurting, they stay beside you even when they don't understand what's wrong. And if one day you disappear, they would probably keep waiting for you anyway. That's why so many people who've loved a dog all say the same thing. Nothing in this world loves you as unconditionally as a dog. So if tonight your dog curls up close beside you or quietly stares at you for a long moment, don't treat it like something ordinary, because there's a good chance that's their way of saying, you are the most important person in my life. And if this video made you see your dog differently, comment 1. And don't forget to follow for more stories about the hidden emotional world of dogs.